Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Power of Your Mind podcast. You're listening to episode 249, Stress Less, Vibe More. I'm Jim Kellner, comedy hypnotist. Joining me as always, Victoria Gallagher. She is the #1 best-selling author of The Practical Law of Attraction, Ultimate Weight Loss Power, How to Manifest Your Soulmate, and the founder of HipTalk.com and HypnoCloud Apps, which is the premier online destination for hypnosis recordings. With over 500 recordings to choose from, the HypnoCloud app provides solutions for people from all walks of life. There's guided meditations, affirmations, and hypnotherapy to help with law of attraction, manifestation, business success, stress, anxiety, sleep issues, and more. So be sure and download it today from the app stores. The goal of this show is to inspire you to dream big and to live your best life. As every week, we discussed how to use manifesting, affirmations, meditation, and of course, hypnosis to help people create the lives of their dreams. So if you're ready to start manifesting your best life, join us and let us help you to tap into the power of your mind. Welcome, everyone. Victoria Gallagher.
Hey, Jim, how are you? Good to see you.
Good. How are you?
I'm good, good. As usual, we're so close. We're so close to launching our new app. I think I spilled the beans on the name of the app. And for those of you who are listening to this show and whether the app is live or not, right now the website is live. The, the website where
Wonderful.
you will find out a little bit more about the app, see what it looks like, and be able to download it, and even be able to purchase subscriptions and all of that. You can't, you could purchase a subscription right now, but the app's not in the app store. So you really, so anyway, it's what is the name of the domain? It's believehypnosis.app. Believehypnosis.app. So yeah, I'm excited
Awesome.
about that. It's definitely something that will help with today's theme, to stress less and vibe more, even though it hasn't brought me less stress developing the darn thing.
But you're still vibing. You're still vibing more.
But I'm still vibing more. Absolutely.
Right. And stress, it's so, what's so funny about stress? I remember I was working in an hypnosis clinic when I was first getting started. And I remember this one woman saying, all you young kids with this word stress, we never talked about stress when I was a girl. And it turns out it wasn't really a thing that was talked about before like the 1960s.
Yeah.
And now it's on the tip of everyone's tongue. We all need a way to get rid of the stress, right?
Absolutely. When I first, in 1999, when I first became a hypnotherapist, one of the things that the first project that I ever did was called the Stress Management Workshop. Now, back then, people didn't really get how desperately they needed to deal with their stress because, of course, like rather than for my first project being just a one cassette, and we're talking cassettes, a one cassette program or one session program. No, I had to go and, go all out, make a 12 session program. They were in their own little, cases that I got made at disc makers. And I had like 300 of those suckers made that had its own like workbooks and everything. And it was like $59.99. I was sold it for all different prices. I was trying various different things, but that was the very first one I ever did. And I had that thing on sale. It was the very first website I ever created. It was so exciting when, that was like the first time anybody ever bought anything, that I had made.
Oh, yeah.
So it was so exciting. But yeah, it was a hard sell, I will say at that time, because people just didn't understand how dangerous and how, life-threatening stress, really can be.
Yeah, I call stress the root of all evil because it makes us drink more, smoke more, eat more, kick the dog, have a fight with our spouse. It's all of that.
Yeah. And it's such a common feeling because most, like most of us, it's so common to feel stress that most of us are not even aware that we're very, very stressed out most of the time, until
Yeah.
you find yourself like going off on someone, drinking too much, just doing all kinds of crazy things.
Yeah. And I mean, it pretty much affects all of us, right? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. I
statistics
mean,
are high.
the American Psychological Association reports back in 2020 that 85% of adults report feeling stressed out. And, I would say that we've all felt stressed, but that was just, what was reported at that time. And the World Health Organization estimates that stress is the number one cause of illness.
Wow.
And yeah, it's the number one cause of illness. And then the American Institute of Stress reports that job stress is the leading source of stress. And that job stress is linked to the leading cause of death, heart disease, cancer, lung ailments, accidents, cirrhosis of the liver, probably because people drink away their stress,
Right.
and suicide. So
Wow.
it really
Wow.
goes without saying that this like really important thing, it goes so unnoticed. And it's really super important that you find a way to manage your stress in order to, avoid those things.
Yeah. And it's lucky that you tuned in today because the goal of today's episode is to provide some really practical tips and techniques for reducing stress using what? That's right. The power of your mind.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And so today's episode is, it's called Stress Less, Vibe More, because there's like, we talk a lot about manifestation, we talk about law of attraction. And so I want to, talk a little bit about the connection between, your vibration and your being able to manifest. Because the whole thing is, your thoughts and feelings affect our energy, and that energy is what attracts things to you, attracts experiences into your life. And so the concept of vibration, that's your energy frequency. That's what gets emitted to the universe, and everything in the universe, including our thoughts, feelings, emotions, every thought, every feeling, every emotion, it has its own vibration. So when it comes to the law of attraction, we are manifesting our desires by aligning our thoughts, feelings, emotions with vibration of what we want to manifest. So if we want to manifest something positive in our life, we need to match our vibration to the positive thing. When our vibration's high, we're in alignment with, the energy of the universe. We're able to manifest our desires. When our vibration is low, when we're stressed, then we're out of alignment with the universe, and we're going to find it much, much harder to manifest what we want.
Gotcha. So it's really important then that we really understand the connection between stress and vibration, right?
Absolutely. So stress and vibration are really interconnected, um, because our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions all have that vibrational frequency. So when we're feeling stressed, our vibration is typically lower. And when we're feeling calm and at peace, that's when our vibration goes, typically higher.
Makes sense. So, how does that happen? How does stress affect my vibration and negatively impact it? I guess.
Well, so stress impacts you emotionally. It impacts you physically. It impacts you mentally. It impacts you on every single level. Stress, whenever you feel stress, you go into the fight or flight response. And when you go into the fight or flight response, that actually releases the stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, and these hormones are actually having a negative effect on your body. And that actually, is one of the reasons why it can cause death, is because it actually, when your body is flooded with all these negative hormones, which are, bringing down your vibration, it's also increasing, the possibility of heart disease, diabetes, it can lead to anxiety, depression, all of that.
Well, I know you've been through a lot of stress recently with your app.
Yeah.
So I mean, we all go through a lot of stress. Talking about job stress, really, right there, right? So, what are some of your favorite ways to reduce stress?
Yeah, I actually, one of the things that happened with me, I mean, one of my favorite ways actually is exercising, and meditating. Definitely doing those things. But then, you can exercise too hard to the point where you get a little lower back pain, and then you're not able to exercise for a few
And then you're in
days,
pain too.
which has happened to
It's
me.
stressful.
So you so that creates more stress. But definitely meditation is one of my favorite ways. I mean, I have a whole room dedicated to meditating.
Love
And
it.
so meditation is one of the most powerful stress reduction techniques. Involves, focusing your attention, eliminating that stream of thoughts that might be, um, creating worry, creating anxiety, creating, more stress. Yoga is also another wonderful way to get over stress, because it includes, stretching your body, putting your body in postures. It involves breathing techniques. It actually involves a little meditation while you're doing it. And so that can just, it's kind of like a all over physical and mental and emotional stress reducer. Exercise, like I had mentioned. When you exercise, it releases different kinds of hormones, the good, chemicals, endorphins. And endorphins, are just natural painkillers, natural feel good, mood elevators, so enhancers. So exercise is great. Mindfulness, just being present in the moment, paying attention to, like, what am I thinking? This is also, really, really good for law of attraction, manifestation, because, when you notice what your thoughts are and you're paying attention to your thoughts, you're going to notice the productive thoughts and the unproductive thoughts. And, when you just practice mindfulness, you can just be in the moment, let go of worrying about the past or the future, just be here now. Journaling is also a really, really great way to overcome stress. You can write down your thoughts. One technique is, writing your morning pages every morning. It just kind of really allows you to, be in touch with yourself and release it and let it go while you're writing. And spending time outdoors in nature, which I haven't really been able to do because I freaking hate the cold so much,
I feel you.
so much.
Yeah,
And it has
yeah.
been extremely cold. Like literally this
Mhm.
morning, it's like I just want to, like, when I ask Alexa, what's the temperature? That creates stress right there. So
Right. If you have to
so
ask.
I've had fewer ways to release my stress lately, because between my back being out, not being able to exercise, and my being too cold out, I refuse. I live in a warm climate for a reason.
Exactly.
But you know, um you can also turn to deep breathing. You can do, progressive muscle relaxation. Just imagine every part of your body. I mean, these things really work because you actually cannot physically be stressed and relaxed at the same time. So you either are in the stress fight or flight response, or you're in the
Yeah.
relaxation response. And so practicing relaxing is like probably one of the best ways to overcome stress. Managing your time is really beneficial. I mean, like, have you ever noticed how, I mean, when you're running late for everything or you're just
Yeah.
constantly, I mean, so all of these things contribute to stress. So if you can manage your time better, you're going to be proactive and, not be dealing with so much stress. Getting a good night's sleep is, another way. And then just, talking to people, just talking about what you're stressed about, that as long as you're not dwelling on it and you're not like over talking about it, that's just another wonderful way to overcome it.
Cool.
So, I
Well,
could go on and on. There's like tons and tons and tons of ways to,
yeah,
overcome stress.
a lot of great solutions there. Is there something that you have found that you find is like super quick to help people to reduce stress? Like if you're in the moment and something you really want to reduce that stress right away?
Well, um, you can practice what you and I both are very highly trained in, is hypnosis. And you can practice, very quick self-hypnosis technique. And, self-hypnosis, I mean, is probably the best way to overcome stress. So it's super easy. You just want to find a, nice, quiet, comfy place in your wherever you are, some place where you won't be disturbed and where you can just, sit and lie down, even for 5 minutes, and just simply close your eyes, take in some deep breaths, focus on your breaths. I like to just make it simple for people to give them some kind of a breathing pattern so they can just focus on their breathing. So there's like dozens and dozens of different kinds of breathing patterns, but one of the breathing patterns would be just simply to count each breath. The simplest thing you can do is just count for 10 breaths. An inhale and an exhale is one breath. So just inhale slowly and exhale. And then that's one. And then, as you're doing that, as you're inhaling and exhaling, you can also just begin to notice each part of your body relaxing. So you might even begin with your head, and for the count of one, and then take that down to your neck for the count of two. And then, each number just takes you progressively lower through your body. Just noticing like, how do I feel? And notice that you're feeling, more and more relaxed. Focus on each sensation of your body. And then as you are doing that, you're also, if you're just being authentic and genuine with your breathing and not trying to make it do anything, you're going to naturally slow down your breathing. As you relax, your breathing just naturally slows down. So that's how you know that it's actually working. And this just really, as you're focusing on these thoughts of relaxation, that just helps you to detach from, any stressors, anything else, and just allows you to just kind of let it go. And when you have done that, after you've gotten, 10 counts, then just take yourself someplace in nature, someplace you like, and just allow yourself to just be at the beach, the forest, peaceful, relaxing scene, feeling calm, feeling relaxed, feeling all those. And then I'd just like to, maybe have you repeat some affirmations. I'm relaxed and calm. I'm surrounded by peace and tranquility. I'm at peace with myself and the world. I'm filled with energy and positivity. And then just, repeat these things a few times. Imagine yourself surrounded by a relaxing white light. Imagine that this light is entering your body, filling you with even more peace and positivity. And then you can just take in a few more deep breaths. Exhale any stress or tension that you might, still be feeling. And then, just notice that you're at peace. And whenever you're ready, you can just slowly open your eyes, take another deep breath. And you, at that point, 5 minutes is all it takes. And you should be able to, be pretty much done with that stress. And it's an ongoing process. It's not something that just like you're gonna, be done with it forever at the end of that session. It might come back in a half an hour. Then you just do it again. But here's the thing is when you practice self-hypnosis, and that's why, as good hypnotists, we teach people to put themselves into trance because these things do come back. But the more you practice it, the more you're kind of rewiring yourself to be able to, take yourself to that place much, much more quickly without even necessarily going through this whole self-hypnosis induction process.
Gotcha. So, what are some things about stress that you think maybe not everybody knows that you can shed a light on?
Well, one thing is that I think there's such a negative connotation with the word stress, and it's not always a negative thing. There's actually positive stress. It's called eustress. And we all need a little bit of stress. It's really part of our physiological and our psychological nature to need a little bit of stress. It actually feeds us with a sense of motivation so that we can move into action. If we did not feel a little bit of stress, we would not be motivated. It is something that drives us into action. And so, I mean, you're going to feel stress whether you're having a baby, whether you're buying a house, all these things are good things, buying a car, eventually you go through this stress and you come out with something that that you really wanted. And then another myth, is that you have to completely be in control of your stress and that you have to completely eliminate it. And that, if you haven't completely let it go, that, you're not effectively managing it. But the truth of the matter is, like I said, there's always maybe just going to be a little bit of stress. You need a little bit of stress, and it's not possible to eliminate it completely. So, you want to like just think about like, well, how stressed am I and rate it. And if you can take your stress from, a number 7 or 8 or 9 or wherever it is, and you can bring it down to, a 1 or 2 or 3, you're doing pretty good. And that's, if you don't have any, you're just going to kind of be a vegetable and sit around and not do anything. And then the other, a lot of people do associate, overcoming stress with relaxation. And that's one definite way. But like we had talked about, there's a lot of different exercises to manage your stress. Like literally exercising is a great, great way to manage your stress. So, overcoming or managing stress, you're not going to like totally overcome it, but you're going to be able to manage it. And so there's many, many different ways. You just have to, figure out what works for you.
Gotcha. Any more tips on advice on how to manage stress and raise that vibe?
Yeah. So I'm always full of tips. There's many different ways.
Yeah.
I cannot mention gratitude enough because, when you are in a state of gratitude, when you're shifting your focus to what you're grateful for, that is going to give you a completely different outlook on what's happening right now. And it's going to shift your attention, because the whole reason why we even feel stressed to begin with is our perception. It's really an attitude. And so if you're able to shift yourself into a feeling of gratitude, focus on what you're grateful for, that's definitely another real quick stress buster. Just taking care of yourself, taking care of, your body, your mind, taking a bubble bath, reading a book, treating yourself to a massage. These are all really, really great ways. Being compassionate to yourself, being kind, understanding with yourself. We can really, beat ourselves up, and that doesn't really do anything good for you. Having realistic goals versus goals that are just like too outlandish and not really possible. So just, you want to balance having a sense of purpose with, goals that are realistic and achievable.
Gotcha. So you shared a lot of info. Could you kind of maybe summarize the main points so that kind of wrap it up for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so the bottom line, so stress, when you're too stressed out, like a little stress is okay, but too much stress is going to lower your vibration. It has too many negative implications to even mention that, we talked about the illness, suicide, it's horrible.
Yeah, okay.
um, low vibration leads to poor manifestation results. But also keep in mind that, stress is an inevitable, necessary part of our life. And there are umpteen million different ways that you can manage it, few of which we covered here.
Right. So please go out and try some of these methods discussed, and then share your experience with us and with others, with your friends, your family, your social media followers, maybe. So, hey, thanks so much for listening. Please join us again next week. And Victoria?
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you, Jim, for, always being a great co-host. Thank you, audience, for tuning in to The Power of Your Mind. Hope you found this episode really informative, inspiring. Please do share this podcast with your friends, with your family. And don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and tune in next week for another amazing, inspiring episode. And until then, keep using the power of your mind to reach your goals and live your best life of abundance and joy.